I'm Lane Wagner, the founder and CEO of Boot.Dev. We teach coding online. We have a kind of an online gamified learning platform, and we mostly reach people through YouTube integrations. So before we started working with thought leaders, we had been managing our integrations with creators ourselves, and we were doing it very, very kind of manually, right? Like we were coming up with our own contracts, we were getting them signed, we were doing all of our own very rudimentary tracking. And that really quickly became unsustainable for us because, I mean, at that time we were a really small team. There was only 4 or 5 of us full time. And, we just didn't have really the administrative capabilities to be going back and forth on email with all that kind of stuff. So started working with thought leaders and we've scaled up really, really quickly since then. And it's just been awesome. We've got one person internal that kind of manages the relationship with thought leaders. It's not even a full-time thing, spends one day a week just kind of approving videos, that sort of thing. And everything's been really smooth. So in the education space, which is obviously where we are, building trust is really, really important. And we found early on that people converted at just much lower rates through things like blogs or just any sort of like text or image ads. Video is always much stronger at like conveying a sense of trust, and even better when we work with creators, right? When you have a creator behind your thing, it just says a lot more about the product, again, particularly from a trust angle. It was always less about pitching, the different features of the platform and more about getting trusted voices to try the product and share it with their audience. And we saw early success with that even before working with thought leaders. We'd kind of hand picked and white glove worked with a couple different creators. And once it was clear to us that like that was kind of the angle that was going to work was when we onboarded with thought leaders and scaled up the whole operation. It's been fantastic. So we've got kind of our account manager, Melanie, who I work with. I mean, Winston meets with her once or twice a week. I meet with her maybe once a month. We've got open lines of communication in our Discord server. So we're just like constantly chatting whenever we need something. And then we've got Josh managing the approvals and the tracking of all the different videos that are going live. I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way, to be honest. We kind of set the direction for the thought leaders team. We want to go after these genres. This is kind of the price point we're targeting. We manage our own integration instructions. It's about a 2-sheet page that we send to every creator. And then we kind of let the thought leaders take it from there. Winston, internally reviews all the videos before they go live, which again takes him, maybe a couple hours a week. But it's all we do it all asynchronously, which is the way we like it, and yeah, everything's been smooth. So we target typically a 2 to 3x return on ad spend within the first month of going live with a creator, and we have a pretty good system down now that I'm really happy with, where we track everything through promo codes, and basically the creators where the integration like works, right, where we're seeing a positive ROI, we rebook them. And if it doesn't, we typically don't. It's something that I think you have to have a decent budget going into. It's not like you can, like with, native Facebook ads, you can test with like $50 a day and start finding success. It doesn't work like that. You need to be able to work with like 10, 20, 30 creators to kind of figure out what works. But if you can start to find the needle in the haystack, then yeah, I mean, the returns have been great. We started working with thought leaders. We were spending about $20,000 a month on integrations, and then now we're at about K a month in integration. We love having all the administrative work of payments, contract signing, follow up with the creators, negotiation, like having all of that done for us is definitely the bigger value proposition. The fact that there is a SaaS app that has like all the numbers inside that we can easily export for our financials and stuff, that's really just kind of icing on the cake. I think, other agencies are just slightly less, operationally efficient because they're like doing it in Google Sheets or with like an external SaaS application that they don't maintain themselves. So I really like the fact that that the web app is there for us to use. Nothing but good things to say about thought leaders. If you are going to do YouTube, I couldn't recommend a better agency.